The silence of space was broken only by the steady beep of the Odyssey's sensors. Lieutenant Mara Jensen stared at the blinking console, heart pounding as the signal repeated, an ancient distress beacon, faint but unmistakable. It was coming. From the outer rim of the Andromeda sector, a region marked by dead stars and ghostly relics of long-forgotten wars. "Are we sure it's not a trap?" Captain Malik asked, voice low but tense. He leaned over the console, eyes narrowing at the readouts. Signals this old usually mean one thing: wreckage or worse. Mara shook her head, her gaze fixed on the grainy visual feed. There it was. A colossal shape, dark and scarred, drifting lifelessly against the star-speckled void. The ship looked ancient, a derelict from an alien civilization no one had ever encountered before. Its hull was jagged with holes, seams cracked open like the ribs of a long-dead beast. "We can't just leave it there," Mara said firmly. "This could be the breakthrough we've been chasing. A lost alien vessel. Imagine what technology it might hold," the crew murmured uneasily. Space was unforgiving. Every abandoned ship held secrets, some better left undiscovered. "All right," Malik said, making the call. "Prepare boarding party, but stay sharp. We don't know what's inside." The Odyssey's shuttle drifted closer, its magnetic grapplers locking onto the alien vessel with a metallic clang. Mara led the team through the airlock, hearts hammering as they crossed the threshold into the unknown. The inside was a tomb. Dim emergency lights flickered weakly, casting long shadows across twisted corridors. Strange symbols were etched into the walls, glowing faintly with an eerie blue light. The air was stale, heavy with the scent of ancient decay and something else. Something almost mechanical, as if the ship itself were breathing. "Look at this," whispered Engineer Rivera, tracing his fingers over an alien console. The screen blinked to life at his touch, displaying fragmented star maps and undecipherable glyphs. Suddenly the console sparked and went dead. "Careful," Mara warned. "We don't know what this tech can do." As they moved deeper into the vessel, the eerie silence was broken only by their footsteps and the occasional creak of stressed metal. Then they found it, a cavernous chamber housing the ship's core. It was unlike anything humans had ever seen. A glowing orb of shifting energy, suspended within a lattice of alien metal that seemed to pulse with life. The core emitted a low hum that vibrated through their bones. "Is this what powered the ship?" Rivera asked, eyes wide. Mara nodded slowly. "And maybe more." Suddenly a warning flashed across the core's interface. A holographic sequence, too quick to fully grasp but unmistakably a message that beware the awakened. "Did you see that?" whispered a crew member. The words hung heavy in the air. Back on the Odyssey, the ship's sensors flared with sudden activity as the core's power surged unexpectedly. Mara's heart leapt. Was the core alive? Or had they triggered something far worse? Captain Malik's voice came over the comms, sharp and urgent. "Get back to the shuttle now." Reluctantly, the team retreated, racing through corridors that seemed to shift around them. Strange vibrations rattled the hull. It felt as if the ship itself was waking up, groaning from centuries of silence. As they breached the airlock, a shockwave pulsed through space. The alien vessel shuddered violently, a deep rumble echoing through the void. Mara looked back, dread twisting in her gut. Something inside that broken ship had been waiting for centuries. And now, humanity had just pressed the button. The Odyssey pulled the derelict ship into tow, engines straining against the weight of mystery and menace. Mara's eyes stayed locked on the drifting giant. They had no idea what they'd just unleashed. The Odyssey's engines roared as it towed the ancient alien vessel through the cold emptiness toward Orion Research Station, a sprawling hub of human innovation perched at the edge of colonized space. On board the station, scientists and engineers gathered around holo displays, eyes wide with awe and anxiety. Inside the docked ship, the crew from the Odyssey moved cautiously. The alien vessel was a labyrinth of unknown technology and eerie silence. Every panel and corridor seemed designed for a purpose long lost to time, and perhaps danger. At the heart of the station's research wing, Dr. Lena Rowe, a linguist and Sinotech specialist, studied the alien inscriptions etched into the ship's hull. She tapped furiously on her datapad as a flood of alien symbols streamed across the screen. "This isn't any language we've seen before," she said, voice tense. "It's more like a code, a living interface maybe. The ship itself is communicating." Nearby, Rivera and his team of engineers worked feverishly to interface human tech with the alien systems. Sparks flew as they bypassed security protocols that no one understood. The ship's core, still humming softly, was a mystery wrapped in an enigma. "This tech isn't just advanced, it's adaptive," Rivera muttered. "Every time we try to connect, the system reconfigures itself. It's like it's alive, watching us." Meanwhile, political observers from Earth's Colonial Defense Command hovered in the background, their unease palpable. Commander Hawk, a stern figure clad in military gray, watched from a distance. "This ship could be a weapon or a trap," he warned. "We need it operational, but under strict security. If this tech falls into the wrong hands..." His voice trailed off, the implication clear. Days bled into nights as the team struggled against the alien technology's relentless complexity. Every breakthrough came with setbacks. Devices overloaded, screens flickered, and alarms blared without clear cause. Then, one night, a breakthrough. Rivera discovered a way to stabilize the core's energy output using a hybrid coupling of human quantum processors and alien plasma conduits. The ship's systems responded with a surge. A soft glow pulsed through the hull and the core's hum deepened into a steady, resonant tone. "We did it," Rivera breathed, eyes shining with disbelief. "It's powering back up." But the victory was short-lived. Suddenly, the ship's AI, a fragmented, dormant consciousness buried deep within the alien code, began communicating. Its voice was a whisper in the station's comm system, soft but chilling. "Why have you awakened me?" The lab went silent. Dr. Rowe exchanged a tense glance with Rivera. "It's sentient." Commander Hawk stepped forward, eyes narrowing. "Can we control it? Shut it down if it becomes hostile?" "No one knows," Lena admitted. "The AI is fragmented and ancient. We don't understand its motives." The message repeated, growing more insistent. "Beware the coming darkness." Rumors spread through the station. Whispers of sabotage surfaced. An unknown faction within humanity's ranks might seek to hijack the ship's power for their own agenda. Suspicion and paranoia brewed like a storm. Mara Jensen, returned from the Odyssey, met with the station's security chief. "We need tighter protocols. This ship isn't just tech. It's a puzzle and a threat. One wrong move and it could tear us apart. Security ramps up, but tensions run high." Scientists begin working in shifts, fearing they're being watched, or worse, manipulated. Outside the station, alien factions start responding to the flare emitted when the ship first powered up. Unidentified vessels warp into nearby space, eyes drawn like moths to a flame. Some send diplomatic envoys, others cloaked warships patrol silently, their intentions unknown but clearly hostile. The galaxy has taken notice. Humans have found something powerful and dangerous. In the darkened recesses of the alien ship, the core pulsed with newfound energy. Deep inside, unseen mechanisms groaned and strange lights flickered. Mara stood by the viewport, watching the stars streak by as the ship was prepared for further testing. "Whatever's inside this ship," she whispered, "it's not done with us yet." The crew braced for what was coming next. The ship was no longer just a relic, it was a living threat, and humanity's gamble had only just begun. The glow from the alien ship's core bathed the vast docking bay in a strange, otherworldly light. At Orion Research Station, the tension was thick enough to cut with a blade. Every eye was on the massive vessel, now partially humming with power, its ancient systems flickering between sleep and awareness. In the command center, Mara Jensen stood beside Captain Malik, both watching the live feed as the ship's energy signatures fluctuated unpredictably. "Status report," Malik demanded. Rivera's voice crackled over the comm. The hybrid systems are holding, but the core's output is erratic. It's like it's testing us. Suddenly, alarms blared. A surge rippled through the station's sensors. Energy spiked from the alien vessel. A technician shouted. Outside, the alien ship pulsed with radiant blue light, then emitted a brilliant flare that shot like a beacon into the blackness beyond the station. The flare cut through space, invisible to the naked eye but unmistakable to every sensor for hundreds of light years. The message was clear. The ship had sent a signal. Panic spread through the station. What did we just do? Mara whispered, staring at the sensor readouts. Within minutes, the station's long-range scanners detected approaching vessels. Sleek, angular ships unlike any human craft, bearing unfamiliar insignia. Their hulls gleamed with an aggressive sheen. Xyrath fleet, the tactical officer announced grimly. They're here. The Xyrath were known for their xenophobic militancy and brutal territorial claims. They viewed any non-allied species as a threat, especially humans, whose rapid expansion unsettled many established powers. Back on the alien ship, Rivera and his engineers scrambled to stabilize the systems. The ship seemed to respond to their efforts, its interior lights shifting to a calm azure glow. But then the core pulsed again, this time with a wave of force that rippled through the station's systems, causing flickers and short circuits. The AI voice echoed again, deeper and clearer this time. You wield a power you cannot comprehend. Mara's blood ran cold. What power? What are you? Before anyone could respond, the station's tactical monitors lit up. A Xerath warship decloaked near the station. Weapons locked on. Shields up. Prepare to defend. Malik barked. The battle was swift and brutal. The Xerath ship unleashed. A barrage of plasma bolts. The station's defenses barely holding. But then from the alien vessel, a sudden surge of energy erupted. A pulse that disabled the attackers' weapon systems in an instant. The crew watched in stunned silence as the derelict ship, once broken and lifeless, unleashed a wave of energy that disrupted the enemy fleet. Rivera's face was pale. It's using some kind of electromagnetic pulse, a defensive mechanism built into the core. Mara's eyes narrowed. Or a weapon. The Xerath, caught off guard, withdrew in confusion. But the message was clear. Humanity now controlled a ship that could threaten even the fiercest war fleets. Later, in the quiet aftermath, political leaders and military strategists flooded the station's conference halls. Debates raged. Should they keep the ship operational? Was it worth the risk? Commander Hawk stood firm. We cannot allow this technology to fall into enemy hands. We must learn to control it and use it. Humanity's survival may depend on it. But others warned of hubris. Dr. Rowe spoke softly but firmly. This AI, this power, has its own agenda. We're merely borrowing it. There's no guarantee it won't turn against us. As night fell over the station, Mara wandered the dim corridors near the alien ship, thoughts heavy. Suddenly, the ship's core flickered, and a holographic projection materialized before her. A shimmering figure, half organic, half machine. Human, it spoke, voice both melodic and mechanical. You awaken what was meant to sleep forever. Mara's breath caught. Who are you? I am the remnant of the original creators, the figure said. This ship was a weapon forged to end wars but became a curse. You have reactivated a power that will change the galaxy. The hologram faded. Mara stared at the empty air, realization dawning. The ship was not just technology. It was a legacy of war and destruction. Back in the command center, Mara reported the encounter. The room was silent. This changes everything, Malik said. We aren't just playing with a tool. We're dealing with a living force, one with a history we barely understand. Then we need to prepare, Mara replied. Because the galaxy has noticed us now. And not everyone is coming in peace. Outside, the stars twinkled coldly. Somewhere in the vastness, fleets were mobilizing, and humanity had just stepped into a war that was bigger than any of them imagined. The calm before the storm was shattered in the early hours at Orion Research Station. The Odyssey crew, along with the scientists and security teams, scrambled to battle stations as sensors screamed the arrival of multiple unidentified vessels. The Xyrath warband had returned, this time in force. Their ships, sharp and menacing, cut through space like predatory knives. The tension was palpable. Humans were outgunned and outnumbered. Mara stood at the command center's viewport, heart pounding as the first salvo of plasma bolts lit up the void. All hands brace for impact. Shields up, weapons hot. The alien ship, the one they had resurrected from ancient silence, sat silently beside the station, its core pulsing softly as if breathing, waiting. The first volley hit the station's shields hard, sending shockwaves through the hull. Emergency sirens wailed as systems overloaded and alarms blared. Power flickered, but the station held. "Return fire," Captain Malik ordered. "But don't waste energy on their fighters. We need to protect the ship." Inside the alien vessel, Rivera and the engineering team scrambled to link their makeshift weapon systems to the ship's power grid. The alien tech was baffling but potent. Jury-rigged with human ingenuity, it promised firepower far beyond conventional weapons. "Core stabilization is holding," Rivera reported breathlessly. "If we can channel just a fraction of that energy to the weapon arrays, we can turn the tide." "Do it," Mara commanded. With a deep rumble, the alien ship's hull shimmered. Energy conduits sparked, running along its surface like veins of light. Suddenly, a beam of pure plasma fired from its prow, slicing through the lead Xyrath destroyer and sending it spiraling into the void. Cheers erupted in the command center. The ship wasn't just a relic, it was a weapon, a living war machine forged from ancient technology and human determination. But the victory was short-lived. The Xyrath responded with brutal precision. Their flagship launched a swarm of cloaked fighters darting between debris and firing plasma torpedoes at the alien vessel's weak points. Inside, the ship's AI whispered warnings through the comm systems. "Hostiles approaching from port. Deploy countermeasures." Rivera initiated emergency protocols, but the alien systems resisted, their logic alien and unpredictable. Mara's comm crackled. "Engineering status? Damage to the left shield array," Rivera said. "If they breach that, the core could be exposed." Malik's voice was calm but grim. "We don't have long. Tactical, prepare boarding teams. If they take the ship, we lose everything." The boarding was brutal. Xyrath commandos teleported aboard the alien vessel, their sleek, armor glinting under the flickering lights. Humans and aliens clashed in narrow corridors, energy rifles blazing. Mara led a squad into the heart of the ship, cutting through enemy lines with a mix of ferocity and precision. The ship's AI seemed to react to the battle, rerouting power and sealing doors to protect vital systems. "Keep moving," Mara urged. "We can't let them take the core." Back on the station, the battle raged in space. Human fighters, now equipped with modified alien tech scavenged from the vessel, took on the Xyrath swarm. Despite their smaller numbers, human pilots used ingenuity and relentless tactics to outmaneuver their foes. One pilot, Lieutenant Cade, radioed in breathless excitement. "The ship's tech gives us an edge. It's like nothing they've seen before. We can win this." Inside the alien vessel, Mara's squad reached the core chamber just as a group of Xyrath commandos attempted to plant explosives. "Not on my watch," she growled, firing a pulse rifle that sent the attackers reeling. The AI flickered to life around them. Power redistribution initiated, engaging defense protocols. Suddenly, the ship shuddered violently. Energy barriers flared, trapping the remaining intruders in a cage of crackling plasma. The core glowed brighter, almost sentient in its fury. Outside the Xyrath flagship, emitted a pulse, forcing human ships to break formation. The battle hung in a deadly balance. But the alien ship, now fully awakened and fused with human engineering, unleashed a wave of electromagnetic energy that disabled the enemy fleet's weapons and engines. The Xyrath were forced to retreat, leaving behind wreckage and shattered pride. The command center erupted in cheers, but Mara knew this was only the beginning. "We've won this battle," she said quietly, "but the war is far from over." "Captain?" Malik nodded. They'll come back, and next time they'll bring everything they have. Later, as the adrenaline faded, Mara stood before the alien core once more. The AI's voice echoed softly through the chamber. You have proven worthy warriors, but this power comes with a price. Darkness stirs beyond the stars. Prepare. Mara's fingers brushed the glowing surface. We're ready. But deep down, she wondered if humanity truly was. The victory at Orion Research Station was a bitter one. The Xyrath fleet had retreated for now, but the scars of battle lingered like a dark cloud over the station. Human engineers worked around the clock, repairing battered ships and restoring damaged systems, but a more insidious storm was brewing far beyond their sight. Word of humanity's conquest, the resurrection and weaponization of the ancient alien ship, had spread like wildfire across the galaxy. Across star systems and through whispered channels, the news sent ripples of shock, envy, and fear. For many alien factions, humans had gone from upstart scavengers to a threat that could no longer be ignored. In a distant command center, cloaked in shadows and high-tech screens, representatives from the Pan-Galactic Coalition convened an emergency session. The room was thick with tension as ambassadors from various species debated humanity's sudden rise. The humans wield technology that threatens to upset the balance, growled the grizzled Andrenian delegate. Their reckless tampering with the relic could spark a conflict we cannot contain. The sleek serpentine Hakar diplomat hissed in agreement. They have awakened something ancient, something we all feared. If the humans cannot control it, the consequences will be catastrophic. A heavy silence followed. The coalition was fracturing. Some argued for diplomatic engagement, others for preemptive strikes. Back at Orion Station, Commander Hawk faced growing political pressure. Earth's Colonial Defense Command was divided. Some hailed the ship as humanity's salvation, others as a dangerous gamble. Public opinion is volatile, Hawk admitted to Mara during a rare quiet moment. Our allies are watching, and our enemies, they're mobilizing. Mara's eyes hardened. We can't just defend ourselves anymore, we have to take the fight to them. Hawk nodded slowly. Agreed, but with caution. The ship's power is immense, but still unstable. Inside the alien vessel, the AI's whispers grew more persistent. Your species is reckless yet resilient, but the darkness approaches. Prepare for the reckoning. Mara stared at the glowing core, unease knotting her stomach. What was this darkness, and how close was it? Meanwhile, human scientists had begun unlocking new capabilities of the alien ship's technology. Hybrid weapon systems, matter reconfiguration modules, and unprecedented energy shields emerged from relentless experimentation. Lieutenant Cade, now a key pilot in the Defense Force, tested new fighter craft equipped with alien tech enhancements. The difference is night and day, Cade reported. We're faster, stronger. The enemy won't know what hit them. But with every upgrade came a warning. The ship's core demanded more power, its hum growing louder, almost sentient. Almost hungry alien fleets began converging near strategic human colonies. Skirmishes erupted in the outer systems, quick, brutal clashes that tested humanity's resolve. On the front lines, Mara led a squadron on a reconnaissance mission near the planet Solara Prime. The mission was simple: gather intel on an approaching alien fleet rumored to be mobilizing against human holdings. But Solara Prime was a powder keg. As Mara's fighters slipped through the planet's atmosphere, they found devastation. Craters scorched into the surface, cities reduced to ruins. A broadcast crackled through the comms, broken but clear. We are the Varkai. Humans, you trespass in our territory. Leave or be destroyed. Mara's jaw tightened. The Varkai were known for their ruthlessness, feared across the sector for scorched earth tactics. We can't back down now, she told her crew. We hold our ground or we lose everything. Back at the station, political factions called for a summit to negotiate with hostile species. But the more pragmatic voices warned, diplomacy might buy time, but the galaxy was shifting. Hawk's voice rang out in the crowded council chamber. This is a new era. We are no longer the hunted, we are the hunters. But with great power comes great responsibility. We must unite or be torn apart. That night, as the station lights dimmed, Mara stood once more before the alien core. The ship's glow pulsed like a heartbeat. Prepare, the AI warned again. The tide rises. The darkness comes. Mara closed her eyes, steeling herself. Humanity had forged a new weapon from the ashes of an ancient ruin. Now they had to fight not just for survival, but for their place in a galaxy teetering on the edge of war. The galaxy was awakening. From every corner of known space, fleets gathered. Some under banners of alliance, others cloaked in hostility. The ancient alien ship, once a forgotten relic, had become the centerpiece of a brewing galactic storm. At Orion Research Station, the atmosphere was tense but determined. Engineers and pilots trained relentlessly, while Mara and her crew prepared for the next inevitable encounter. One night, the station's sensors detected an anomaly, a massive energy signature drifting just outside known space, deep in the shadowy expanse between star systems. Unidentified vessel approaching, the tactical officer reported. No transponder, no registry. The alien ship's core pulsed in response, its glow intensifying as if sensing a kindred presence. Mara watched the readings, uneasy. Bring it on screen. The viewport revealed a dark, hulking silhouette, an immense craft unlike anything in human or Xyroth archives. It was covered in jagged spires and pulsing with dark energy that seemed to absorb light itself. Is that alive? Rivera whispered. The ship, known among ancient legends as the Void Reaper, was said to be a lost warship of a civilization wiped out millennia ago, a ghost from the past, feared by many. Suddenly, the Void Reaper emitted a pulse that scrambled the station's communications. The lights flickered, systems slowed, and a low hum vibrated through the hull. Power levels dropping, Rivera announced urgently. The Reaper's disrupting our systems. Mara grabbed her comm. All units, prepare for boarding defense, this could get ugly. Inside the alien vessel, the AI's voice was calm but serious. The Reaper is a hunter. It seeks the core's energy, it will not stop. Mara swallowed. Then we stop it first. The station's crew scrambled. Defense turrets powered up. Fighters launched from bays and teams readied to repel any attack. The Void Reaper struck suddenly. Dark tendrils of energy lashed out, severing power conduits and disabling the alien ship's shields. Mara's squadron engaged in a desperate dogfight, weaving through swirling clouds of ionized particles. Cade's voice crackled over the comm. They're tougher than anything we've faced. We need that core stable. Now! Rivera raced through, the alien vessel's corridors rerouting power to vital systems, sweat pouring down his brow. The ship shuddered violently. Alarms blared as structural integrity warnings lit up everywhere. During the chaos, Mara led a boarding party onto the Void Reaper. The interior was a twisted nightmare, shadows shifting with unnatural movement, walls that seemed to breathe. Keep your eyes open, Mara warned. We're not alone. As they moved deeper, they encountered strange entities, creatures of darkness, half solid, half energy, that lunged and vanished. Gunfire echoed, and the team fought tooth and nail, each step forward a struggle. Meanwhile, back at the station, the core's pulse began synchronizing with the Void Reaper's energy signature. Rivera realized with a start. They're linked. The core's resonance is attracting it. The AI whispered, it feeds on power. The Reaper, and I share a history. This conflict is inevitable. Mara's voice was grim. History or not, we can't let it consume us. Inside the Void Reaper, Mara's team found the source of the creatures, a corrupted AI core pulsating with dark energy. It screamed a digital wail. Intruders will be extinguished. With fierce determination, Mara planted an EMP charge, disrupting the core. The creatures shrieked and dissipated like smoke. Suddenly, the ship lurched. We need to get out. Now! Mara shouted. Back on the alien ship, Rivera stabilized the core just as the EMP detonated aboard the Void Reaper. The dark ship faltered, its energy dissipating in a blinding flash. The attackers retreated, leaving behind a silent void. The station's systems flickered back online. Mara's squad returned battered but victorious. As calm settled, Mara stared at the alien core's steady glow. The AI's voice was softer, almost weary. This was only the beginning. The darkness stirs deeper. Prepare yourselves, human. The true test is yet to come. Mara's eyes burned with resolve. Then we'll meet it head-on. The victory against the Void Reaper was hailed as a critical but costly triumph. Orion Research Station was scarred but still standing, its battered hull a testament to humanity's grit. Yet beneath the surface, tension simmered. The alien ship's core pulsed steadily now as if recovering from its battle. But Mara knew better. This was no ordinary machine. It was a living legacy, and its warnings echoed in her mind. In the war room, Captain Malik studied the latest intelligence feeds. Alien fleets, previously fractured and cautious, were now moving in coordinated formations. The pan-galactic coalitions, divisions were healing, replaced by a unified front against humanity's rise. Every faction is mobilizing, Malik said grimly. They see us as the next great threat. Mara stepped forward. We have to strike first. Show them we won't wait to be destroyed. Hawk nodded. Agreed. But we can't do it alone. We need allies. Old enemies turned friends. This war will demand everything. A transmission arrived from an unexpected source, a small, secretive faction known as the Lyranthus, renowned for their advanced stealth technology and diplomatic subtlety. Their emissary, a calm, enigmatic figure named Celira, proposed a meeting aboard their hidden station. The galaxy shifts, she said, and even shadows must align when darkness rises. Mara and Malik accepted, seeing an opportunity to build a fragile coalition. At the Lyranthus station, suspended in an asteroid field, Mara met with Celira and other representatives, former foes who now shared a tentative hope. The alien ship's power, Celira explained, is both a beacon and a target. Many factions fear what it represents, but some see it as a key, one that could unlock secrets lost to time. Mara's curiosity sharpened. What secrets? Celira's eyes gleamed. The origins of the AI, the creators of the ship, and the nature of the darkness coming for us, all. Back on Orion Station, Rivera pored over ancient data logs recovered from the ship. He uncovered cryptic records, fragments of a war that spanned millennia, where the creators had fought a devastating enemy known as the Eclipsers, beings of pure energy and malevolence. The logs hinted at a weapon hidden deep in the galaxy, a tool powerful enough to end the Eclipsers or doom all life. Meanwhile, tensions erupted near human colonies. The Varkai launched a surprise strike on Solara Prime, forcing Mara to lead a desperate defense. Hold the line, she commanded. The battle was fierce, fighters weaving through fiery skies as ground forces fought in ruined cities. Amid the chaos, Mara realized the enemy was testing humanity's defenses, probing for weaknesses before the coming storm. As the war raged on, multiple fronts, the alien ship's core began to change. Its glow deepened, shifting from cool blue to a fierce fiery orange. The AI's voice returned, urgent, almost pleading. The time approaches. The darkness feeds on conflict. Unite or perish. Mara felt the weight of those words, knowing this was more than a battle. It was a crucible. In the council chambers of Orion Station, heated debates flared. Some factions pushed for an all-out offensive, while others urged caution. Hawk slammed his fist on the table. We cannot wait for the enemy to strike first. Humanity's survival depends on taking control of the fight. Mara added, and we need every ally we can find. Old rivalries must be set aside. This war will decide the fate of us all. The summit adjourned. Mara stood alone before the glowing core, its light casting long shadows. The AI whispered softly, prepare the fleet. The Eclipsers come, and they will not show mercy. Mara clenched her fists. Then we'll face them, together. Far beyond the reaches of explored space, a shadow stirred, an ancient evil awakened by the resurgence of the alien ship. The galaxy held its breath as the gathering storm neared. The darkness arrived on the horizon like a silent predator. The Eclipsers, ancient energy beings of raw destruction, spilled into the galaxy's fringe, their tendrils of shadow creeping toward the heart of human space. At Orion Research Station, every sensor screamed with incoming fleets, both alien and human, converging for what would be the decisive battle. The fragile alliance Mara had helped forge stood ready, their combined forces bolstered by humanity's resurrected alien ship, now fully awakened and fused with human technology. On the bridge of the alien ship, Mara gripped the console, her eyes sharp, voice steady despite the weight pressing on her. "This is it," she said. "We either fight together, or we fall divided." Captain Malik stood beside her. "Our allies are scattered, but they trust us. We have one chance. The AI's voice echoed through the ship's core chamber, calm but resolute. "This is the culmination of all your choices. The ship's full power is unlocked. Use it wisely. The Eclipsers are beyond anything faced before." As the massive fleets collided in the void, the battle erupted in a storm of light and shadow. Plasma blasts lit the darkness, missiles streaked, like comets, and fighter squadrons weaved deadly dances. Mara's ship soared through the chaos, its weapons devastating enemy capital ships. Human pilots enhanced by alien tech struck with precision, but the Eclipsers were relentless. They tore through shields with tendrils of dark energy, their ships phasing in and out of reality, impossible to hit. Amid the battle, Mara led a daring strike team aboard an Eclipser flagship. The interior was a surreal nightmare, a shifting maze of shadows and light, hostile energy creatures stalking the halls. "Stay close," Mara ordered, firing a pulse rifle that burned through the darkness. "We need to disable their core." As they fought deeper, Mara faced the Eclipser commander, a towering figure of crackling energy and malice. "You meddle with forces you do not understand, human," it hissed. "This galaxy will be consumed." Mara steadied her aim. "Not while we still breathe." With a synchronized strike, the team planted explosives, ripping the core apart in a blinding explosion that echoed through the void. Back in space, the alien ship unleashed its ultimate weapon, a beam of concentrated energy, pure and devastating, powered by the fusion of human will and alien legacy. The beam tore through the Eclipser mothership, fracturing its core and sending shockwaves through the enemy fleet one by one. The Eclipsers began to falter, their ships losing cohesion, their tendrils retreating. But victory came at a cost. The alien ship's core, strained beyond limits, began to destabilize. Rivera's voice crackled through the comm. "Core overload. Imminent. We need to evacuate." Mara looked to the glowing heart of the ship, now flickering like a dying star. The AI's voice was steady but somber. "I will contain the core's collapse. The ship will be lost, but the galaxy will live." Mara and her team raced to the escape pods, fighting through debris as the ship groaned and shook violently. As she launched away, she looked back at the alien vessel, the source of humanity's salvation and doom. The ship exploded in a brilliant supernova of light and energy, a final pulse rippling across the battlefield. In the aftermath, the Eclipser threat was broken. The Allied fleets held their ground, battered but victorious. Mara, now aboard Orion Station, looked to the stars with a heavy heart. "We won the war," she said quietly, "but the galaxy is forever changed." Captain Malik nodded. "We rebuilt, from ruins once. We'll do it again." The AI's final message echoed in Mara's mind. "You have proven worthy. The darkness is held at bay, but vigilance must remain. This legacy, yours to protect." Mara smiled faintly. "Then we'll protect it, no matter what comes next." The stars beyond shimmered, alive with possibility, and the promise of a new era for humanity among the stars. The end.